Hi, this is Dr. Alan Franklin with Victory Hearing and Balance Center. We're making this short video today to discuss the issue of telecoils in hearing aids. I often get questions from patients regarding what a telecoil is and what it's used for, so I thought it would be a good video topic for today. A telecoil is a very small induction coil, if you will. An induction coil is sensitive to magnetic fields. Now, this is a contrast to the microphone, which is what's typically used in a hearing aid. A microphone picks up acoustic signals or regular sound signals traveling through the air. Now, a hearing aid that's equipped with a telecoil is typically activated manually or automatically depending upon the device. We'll touch on that in just a second. But when the telecoil feature is switched on, the hearing aid typically no longer is sensitive to acoustic sounds, but rather is sensitive to magnetic fields. Now, why would you want to turn on such a feature? The primary reasoning or motivation behind the use of a telecoil is to eliminate feedback while using the telephone. Especially if you've used hearing aids before, you realize you bring up your hand close to the hearing aid and you often get a squawking or feedback sound. And that's the same thing that happens when the hearing aid user holds the phone right up against your ear with the hearing aid in it. That doesn't always happen, but it's very common. Cell phones, especially telephones, hearing aids, have always been a very challenging pair. But the use of a telecoil systematically eliminates the feedback problem. It's not even possible to have feedback while using the telecoil input of a hearing aid. With that said, some of the more modern hearing aids have the ability, which is programmed in the software, to use a combination of microphone telecoil. So it's not that simple, but that's the basics. A telecoil picks up magnetic fields, a microphone picks up acoustic signals, and the reasoning typically for turning on or activating a telecoil in a hearing aid is to eliminate feedback while using the telephone itself. Some hearing aids have the ability to make that switch automatically via what's called a reed switch. A reed switch senses the magnetic field emitted from the telephone, and when it senses that field, i.e. you bring the phone right up to the hearing aid switches the telecoil on, and when that signal is removed, the phone is moved away from the ear, the hearing aid will then switch back automatically. In my experience, the reed switches work okay for custom in-the-ear hearing aids, but I personally haven't had much luck with the reed switch built into many behind-the-ear hearing aids. A couple of notes: not all hearing aids have telecoils built in. Typically, very small ones are less likely to have it, but medium to large ones are very likely to have it. And not all phones are compatible with telecoils, meaning not all phones emit a strong enough magnetic field for the telecoil to pick up on. So if you have a phone that doesn't emit that field, when you bring it up, even though your telecoil is active, it doesn't see anything, so you don't hear the phone. So you must have the telecoil in your hearing aid, and you must also have a phone that is telecoil compatible. Now, I often recommend my patients with hearing impairment, whether they're using hearing aids or not, use an amplified phone. Amplified phones are built specifically for people with hearing impairment and or hearing aids. They are louder, typically have tonal controls, and are almost always telecoil compatible. That should close today. Once again, Dr. Alan Franklin, Victory Hearing and Balance Center, area code 512-443-3500. Have a great day.